Hello, my soul family. Welcome to today's spirituality retreat. We are here gathered today to celebrate this new one in Pisces of this year 2022. My name is Christie Ramirez and I'm your health and wellness expert. So before we get started with today's spiritual talk and then end with our soulful healing session, I want to begin by sending you all healing Reiki energy. Close your eyes and open your hands to receive this through the palm of your hands, this gold and white light of just pure love and pure healing. God is present here. Jesus is here with us today. And, Jesus was incarnated during Piscean age. So I think this is very, very significant. This new one in Pisces today is a very important one. It really marks a new beginning this year. But this is like an intense new beginning. This is what we've been preparing for during our whole lifetime. We've already been training for this. We've already been getting a lot of downloads as to what this new beginning is about, what our future holds. And this future is finally here. And now it's actually about stepping into it and being able to live it and not live in the future anymore, but live in the now because we are in the future. And this is beautiful because this is finally this transition that is going to get us out of illusionary thinking, out of thinking that our dreams are not possible. It's going to dissolve any delusions as well that have been karmic, that have been from the past, from the old life, from our old self. We are really actually today grieving the death of our old self. And this old self that has died has also died with our old life, the way that we used to live our life, what we used to think life was about. There's so much more that we are realizing today that life has to offer. And this is beautiful because this Piscean energy is going to open us up to this new realm that we just had no idea was even possible, at least humanly possible. And I really feel like there is a lot of communication with higher beings, confirming to us, reassuring us, and guiding us to this new possibility that there is something out there that's better, and it's of higher vibration, and it's absolutely serene as well. It's like this paradise that we're all after, but it's not earthly paradise, it's heavenly paradise. It's a higher realm paradise, and this is why we have no access to it, because we're living on earth still. And I feel like this is very much tied into ascension. This is like the beginning also towards this higher ascension that as a humanity we are reaching, especially us light workers who are awoken, doing the work, doing the research, and actually embarking and following this journey, right? Because it's one thing to be aware of it, but then another to actually be in it, living it, and continue to evolve in it. And those are the people who are going to step out of this mundane reality, out of the matrix, literally. And remember that Piscean energy on the shadow aspect can represent really strong delusions, hence a matrix that as a collective we've all kind of made for ourselves. And when we are shattered with this reality, we realize that at the end of the day, none of this exists. And I know that many people don't want to hear this, but there's just so much more than what Earth has to offer as well. And this is where the spiritual journey comes in. And this is the future. The future, trust me, is going to be all spiritual. People are going to be more invested in their spiritual journey, more curious about their evolution, about their soul, what's going to happen to their soul in the afterlife, right? Just like the ancient Egyptians lived their life by. They lived their life thinking about their soul, not their flesh, because the flesh actually does die and dissolve into mid-air after death. But the soul keeps on living. The soul is eternal. The soul soul is infinite, and this is what we're actually to worry about. If you're going to worry about anything, worry about your soul, because this is actually life dependent, literally your soul's life, because whatever you do on this planet is all a test for your soul. And so this is definitely going to get us on the right path. It's going to help us to think more clearly, get clear spiritual guidance. And what I'm getting right now, did you all know that Einstein was a Pisces? And we all know that Einstein was known for being a genius, but he also discovered the ethers, and he was very much into the spiritual realm, although it's not much talked about. But just in the fact that he discovered the ethers means that something within him was calling him, something outside of him as well. His soul was yearning to find out more about these ethers. And then Isaac Newton continued as well, another great scientist. He's actually a mystic that's included in one of my oracle decks. So he was a great scientist, but he also very much was into the journey as well. Everybody great in this life who left a legend was always on the spiritual path. And this is just a lesson for us and proof that by you being on your spiritual path, in your spiritual truth, in your light, that's going to be you living your greatest life ever and leaving your greatest legacy. Not doing something that's not of the light, because that all gets erased immediately post-death. So you definitely don't want to be on that boat. You want to be on this ship that is of God's Noah's Ark. You want to be the ones who are going to be saved after death. Your soul is going to be saved, like Jesus came to save our soul. It's only those who are willing to receive this salvation that are going to be saved, right? No one is going to be forced, and God is not forceful. We are all born with free will. It's about how you use your free will that counts. And this is what we're being reminded with today. On the other hand, this Piscean energy, it is a new moon, so it is about setting our intentions towards these creative projects, divine inspirations that we're all receiving. And trust that there is going to be a lot of divine intervention as well to get you on your path, especially if your mission is very important and the gifts that you hold are very much needed by God. There is going to be strong divine intervention during these times, so don't be afraid, but just surrender and don't resist, because if you resist, the stronger this intervention will be. And these tower moments will only be that much more damaging because it's ruining your expectations. But when you surrender, there's nothing but good surprises in front of you, right? And you want to be in this mentality that you want to be surprised in a good way, and you want to feel blessed, because we are blessed, right? And God wants to bless us. And on the third hand, there's another big point to this new moon in Pisces, and that is intense spiritual purification. I've been feeling this very strongly during these times. This is a time of intense detox, cleansing from the past, anything that is not of higher vibration within your soul, within your temple, is being purged out. And it can look different for anybody, because it could just literally be an energetic clearing that you need. And for others, it might be something more physical, because that's how deep it's gotten. That's how toxic it's gotten, that it's manifested physically. So for everybody, it's going to be different, but it is an intense purification time. So spend time lots in water, take your baths, spend time near the ocean, drink lots of pure water. All of these things are going to make this purification process that much more graceful, and that's what we want. I've been feeling this very strongly, and I feel so much better because of it. It's going to rejuvenate us, it's going to recharge us, it's going to propel this metamorphosis to continue, and that much stronger. This metamorphosis that is the theme for 2022 is intensifying this March. This new one in Pisces is at the very beginning of March. We're at the 2nd of March. And like I have been saying in past retreats, in my dailies, and all my videos, this point in March is where this accelerated purification is happening. And it's going to continue to the end of this year. January, February have been like the pre-preparation for this, Because again, like any intense detox program, you can't just embark on it and expect it go right? You might experience too much of a strong detox symptom. Like, let's say you're trying to quit something that's not good for your body. If you just try to go cold turkey all of a sudden and you're not mentally prepared, because I feel like that's what we've been just more than anything been preparing, it's mentally. Because physically, our body could handle anything that our mind can handle, right? And I feel like we weren't mentally prepared this January. If anything, it would have been too much. Like, you would have just thrown up from how difficult and just how intense that purification process was, right? And it's actually interesting because this January, it was this January. Was it January? Yeah, it was January. That I never throw up, and I did throw up one day. And so that was something like extremely rare for me. And I just took that as a spiritual sign and message too, that we're not prepared yet for what is here now, ready for us in March, that we are now prepared for. And now our body is able to handle this spiritual intensity. Because remember, everything that we're going through spiritually, our physical body needs to be able to also handle it. Because again, we're still materialized in this world. We're still walking around as flesh. So our physical body is important. And I know many spiritual people don't really sometimes neglect their physical body. Not all of them, right? But some people who are always just more into the spiritual realms, which can be dangerous because you also need to take care of your physical body, because it's what's going to help you to get in and out of that spiritual energy gracefully and also healthfully, right? Because again, one of the shadow energies of Piscean energy, anybody who has strong Pisces in their chart, is getting lost in the spiritual realm. These are people who use drugs for that reason, to try to escape reality. And it's this good thing, which is your spiritual journey, that too much of it, or done the wrong way, can spiral into something very negative and even dangerous, right? Even suicidal, to that matter. Many artists have fallen into that trap, and as a result, they did leave the earth because of that. Because it was just too much to handle. They got too lost in it. And you definitely don't want to be on that side of the spiritual journey, of the spectrum. You want to be able to be spiritual, yet still be able to come down to earth and spread the message, manifest these inspirations that you're receiving, and bring your creativity into life. That's what Pisces energy is about. Handle the right way. It's about art, making art in this life. And I feel like this year is going to be a very, very potent year for artwork. So if any of you are artists, this is your year. And I'm excited because I have like so much art within me. I'm like an artist as well. And it's been calling me even more strongly during these times, even towards like the end of last year. And I feel like I am even going to bring more good stuff this year. As you all artists out there as well, remember, art is different for everybody. It's not just a painting. It can be very different. Everyone has a different way of expressing their creativity. It could be music, it could be whatever it is, photography, it could be speaking, it could be singing, it could be actually painting, whatever it is, writing. We're all being asked to tap into this creative self, because it's going to help us also to express our emotions and purge them out in a way that's going to be productive, you can say, because it's going to serve others as well. It's going to help others be inspired. And that's what we're here to do, right? To inspire others to live in the light and know that everyone who lives in the light is always blessed and protected. So that's how I wanted to begin today's New Moon in Pisces Spirituality Retreat. It is a beautiful ceremony today. I definitely changed things up today. And that's again where creativity comes in, right? Thinking outside the box, continuously trying new ways of doing things, because you just might be surprised at how spectacular that might become. Maybe this is like a new ritual that you want to start from now on. But maybe you want to work on some sort of skill as well and cultivate and develop it even more. These talents within us that perhaps have either been suppressed or they've just been dormant, and we're activating them now because God is wanting you to now share it because you have have no idea what it's capable of. So practice makes it perfect. That's a key during these times. A lot of meditation, your spiritual practices, what's going to keep you spiritually grounded. So your daily meditation, your daily yoga, eating healthy foods from nature, from earth, Mother Gaia herself. That's what my health and wellness brand is all about, is to keep us healthy here on earth, to be able to continue to evolve on our spiritual journey. And that's what my soul coaching brand is for, teaching you more about the journey, but you definitely don't want to get lost up there. So that's why it's important that you have a healthy balance between up there and down here. And so definitely check out more what my health and wellness brand has to offer, body, mind, and spirit. You have your meditation series, your yoga series, your holistic nutrition series, and our spirituality retreats that I do twice a month for every new and full moon. And this is definitely what's going to keep us healthy, our aura vibrating very high, and keep us aligned in our chakras as well. Alright, so I'm going to bring in a reading. I want to definitely go deeper into these energies because I feel like there's just so much more that wants to come through. And yeah, I hope that you all like this new setting. I'm really loving this here. This is like my music studio here where I can just get creative and just come up with new ideas. And you know, we're just in the clouds right now, trying to get this guidance, this wisdom, and bring it down to earth for all of us to follow with this year, starting with this new moon in Pisces. So momentarily, we'll be right back. Alright, so I chose 4 special decks today, and the first one that I want to begin is with Archangel Metatron. This is a deck that I don't use very often, but this is our self-mastery oracle, and I feel like this is also what this Piscean energy is bringing in, is self-mastery for the journey, right? Our spiritual mission, mastering these gifts, these talents. So again, practice makes it perfect. And like any artist, right? Any artist will tell you that they will practice their art day in and day out. Not only because they're passionate about it, but because they know they're going to get better with every day that passes by. So this is definitely going to bring in a lot of discipline for us, helping us to stay focused on these dreams, because Pisces also rules dreams, these dreams in our heart that we are just wanting to manifest so bad because we desire it like nothing we've ever desired before. Pisces also brings in spiritual love, spiritual partnerships, this spiritual bond, spiritual gifts, telepathy. All of this is going to be heightened. Your psychic abilities, dreams are going to be heightened as well. So you might be starting to get more messages in dreams. I actually, realized these past 2 nights, I slept really hard, but it was because I was having intense dreams. And even though I didn't quite remember exactly what the dream was about, I do remember the theme of it. Because again, remember that dreams speak in metaphors, so it's not always literal, but sometimes the angels and God is just trying to show you something through a storyline, right? Giving you a message. And look at this. What did I just... Wow, we got the love card as a main theme for this new moon in Pisces. This is definitely what's coming in. Relationships and harmonizing these relationships are going to be a key theme with this new moon in Pisces. And it's a beautiful rose, and it's really, really vibrating very high. Remember, love is the highest vibrational energy of all. So I feel like that's what's going to also help us in all areas of our life. Creativity, healing. Remember, if we kind of associate, that's the word I was looking for, Jesus with Pisces, he was the master healer. He was the miraculous healer. And I feel like this is all going to help us to heal, and that's love worldwide. Let us read from this deck. Number 6 card, which is about harmony. Wow, card number 6 links to the planet Venus. And Venus, if you all didn't know, and astrologically, is out of shadow finally. Since December 19th of 2021, Venus went retrograde. And before that, like about a month prior, so like in the November time, Venus went shadow. And then it just literally came out of shadow today. So Venus is finally open, wide and free, and is absolutely direct. So this is good because Venus relates to our projects. It actually relates to romantic love. So maybe all of these areas have been feeling kind of off since November, and that is the reason, right? Astrology plays a huge role in these energies. And this is the planet of love, harmony, and also beauty. Creating beauty, radiating beauty from the inside out. So if you haven't been feeling like your best, especially if you're a divine feminine, but remember that all of us have feminine and masculine within. So this side of ourselves, the feminine side, which rules our intuition, our creativity even, this has been a little bit like staticky in a way since November. And I feel like finally it's like recalibrating into where it belongs. So we're like right back on track in a way. And Venus also links into the goddess energy of fertility, which is birthing new projects, sexuality, and victory. So sacred sexuality. So hence the union of divine partnerships. And then victory, this will be victorious in God's eyes. Justice is coming in through very strongly. And we are in Pisces season as well. So there's a lot of Pisces, and there's a lot of good aspects to this new moon in Pisces. It is at 12 degrees as well, which I think is synchronistic because the number 12 and also the 12th house, right? If any of you have 12th house Pisces, then even more so. This is definitely about going deeper into the spiritual journey more than ever now. This is what you should be prioritizing out of all the times in your life. And if you're solely focused on this journey, you're on the right path, because there's going to be time to do other things. Whatever has been taking like a back seat in your life, any projects. And maybe this is the time to awaken those other projects that have been taking a back seat because maybe of the journey, right? Maybe these gifts have been developing. And know that when your spiritual gifts are developing, there's a lot of symptoms that go along with that. It's not just that easy, right? Anybody who is like psychic or has spiritual gifts will tell you that it's not all that easy. Because not only is it awakening to them, that takes a lot of physical energy, but it's also the maintenance of that. And then we're always feeling collective energy, so we become more sensitive. And then that's the way that we have to live our lives. And it's just like an extra burden in a way. But when we choose to not see it as a burden, but rather as a blessing, and then we're able to also mature along with these gifts, we're able to now almost like get to know our body again, right? And we're able to live life more gracefully and even normally with these gifts along with it. So in the beginning, it's a little like iffy because you're transitioning with all these new gifts that you've been given, and then trying to live a normal life, but it's almost like impossible because these symptoms are getting in the way. Your energy is kind of like just dipping because you're exhausted, because your spiritual gifts are being activated. All of these things come into play, but I feel like we're being normalized now so that we may be able to also live on earth and live almost like a grounded life. And this is what's going to create more harmony, right? Between our spiritual self and then also our earthly self. So interesting message. Now, when it comes to love, we have a message here today. How do you love and how are you loved? Are you in love right now, or are you yet to find this? Do you want to be in love? Because this is the year to fall in love, if anything, with the true right spiritual partner. And this is new love. This is beautiful because this is definitely what's blossoming in divine timing. Our hearts are opening up. Our heart chakras are healing, and this is why this true love is entering. Beautiful. Now, when pulled, this card typically focuses on your relationship with a partner or a potential partner, right? Remember that if we want to attract a healthy partnership, it needs to begin with self. So having a healthy partnership with ourselves, and also, like I say, how to manifest a true spiritual partnership is by start to do the things that you would like to do with that partner. Make sure that you have space in your life to invite a new relationship as well. Now, although it can also apply to non-romantic relationships, such as with a parent or other loved one, maybe even your pets as well, maybe you have children, we know that a loving bond with another, when expressed in its highest form, is like the rose in full bloom, pictured in this card, a beautiful, sacred thing. Love is a beautiful thing, and it's very sacred. So definitely treat it as such. However, just like the rose, love is delicate and needs to be handled with care. It needs time, attention, and gentleness for you to benefit from its full glory and wonder. So if you want a spiritual partnership, make sure you're willing to tend to it just like you would a flower, right? Just like you would a pet as well. It requires love. It requires nurturance. It requires time. loved one seated can weather any storm as long as work and energy from both sides are put into it, right? Like anything else in life. Consider the state of your own relationship. Is it one that is based on mutual love and consideration? Or is it wilting from neglect, disinterest, or abandonment? That's when you know a partnership is failing, when you have forgotten it, right? So ask yourself, when was the last time I did something for my partner? And when was the last time they did something for you? It can be something practical or emotional. Love can be expressed in so many different ways, but it needs to be demonstrated and felt in some shape or form. Remember that everybody has a different love language. So it's about almost discovering what your partner's love language is. Could be touching each other, could be a moment's embrace, cooking a nourishing meal, offering help and assistance, or just giving each other your time and full attention, as well as the gift of your presence. Remember, that's something that sometimes all what us humans need is the presence of our loved one. Maybe you have forgotten what it is to be truly loved, truly wanted, and truly connected to someone. Maybe you have never even shown love or had no role model to inspire you. And yet love is within us all. It is always there. God created us from love. Think about it. It is an energy that is freely available if we break down our walls of resistance and realize that what we give out, we give back. We get back. Like attracts like. And any test or challenges in love is there to make us question, learn, and appreciate who we are and what we feel that we deserve. What we feel we deserve, we will receive back. So if you feel taken for granted or underappreciated, ask yourself why you have allowed this to happen. And this can also be in your career, because remember, Venus also rules career, money. So if you don't feel like you are being appreciated by either getting paid or receiving what you deserve from the work that you're putting out, then this is something that's also coming up for reflection. Maybe asking yourself if you need to change something, or maybe not give back so much, and maybe redirect that energy to somewhere where it will be appreciated. Then ask Metatron to help heal this pattern within you. It is a common one that many of us are wounded by. It stems from not loving ourselves enough and therefore not expecting much in return. And remember, when we love others and we show love to others, we also do it from a non-expectant standpoint. So if you're doing community work or just giving love out as your form of charity, it is only natural to not expect anything in return, because at the end of the day, if we're trying to help people, maybe they don't have anything to give back, and that's okay. God sees the energy and the work that we're putting out, and He's the one that's going to bless us in return. So think of how you demonstrate your love. And remember, God blesses in different ways. It could even be the partnership of your life, the love relationship of your life. It could be, maybe you do want money. Maybe you want to live a good life. Maybe you will be healthy the rest of your life. All of these things are ways that God blesses us. So think of how you demonstrate your love, what you expect from it, and what you truly believe is its highest form and expression. From young passionate love to love that has survived decades of life experience, the principles remain the same. So seek an expression of the love that is the source of all creation, a state of being as natural as breathing in and out. Allow love to grow now in your heart and in your relationships, and it is there for all. No one is excluded from its promise and beauty. What a beautiful way to begin today's reading with this message of love. And yeah, welcome back, new dawn. So this is definitely like the sunrise here. Maybe this is also a sign for us to kind of like embrace the sunrise from now on. And this is a welcoming back of something. Maybe something that you've left behind that is being reawakened. We are being resurrected during these times, and this is a presentation that is coming soon, provided by my Light Worker University, and it's what these first 6 months are about, specifically from March to the middle of this year. We're being resurrected to something, a part of our life that is needing attention, and it's going to bring us happiness and joy. And there's lots of beautiful birds here. Birds are spiritual messengers. We are being guided towards the right direction. So thank you, Archangel Metatron, for these beautiful messages for self-mastery. work on self-mastery. This is how we reach enlightenment, right? Is by being a student and then eventually becoming a master. Let us get also now a sacred geometry activation card to see what chakra and sacred geometry is being activated during these times. We got the Merkaba at the bottom. And I do feel like this is almost our message today. The frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimension. So hence higher consciousness. We are activating and accessing higher dimensions. And this is where we receive higher knowledge. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, which is from our past ancestors, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. This is what's being activated during these times. Let's see if we can read from the Oracle today. Wow, the word Merkaba can be loosely translated as chariot. So there's definitely strong movement forward. It refers to the human light body, the energy field around all humans that is generated by the quantum parts of our DNA. So we are definitely being advanced and upgraded in our DNA at a deep, deep cellular level. Therefore, this field is quantum. So if any of you like to study quantum physics, this is one of my future study points that I definitely want to get to. But quantum physics is something that's definitely being activated now. And this is what Einstein studied a lot as well, was quantum physics. So it's interesting that I brought those two people up, right? These two themes, because this is what's almost like being asked for us to even delve deeper into. We might get more answers there. I feel like answers are being revealed. And this is what this Pisces energy brings in, right? Because the true answers, the deepest answers of this life can only be accessed through the spiritual realm. And this is what's being revealed. So this quantum field is where we communicate with our consciousness and where our Akashic records are stored. So all past life information as well. Wisdom. The human Akasha can be described as the total history of everything that a human being has experienced on planet Earth, held as energy in the etheric field around the human being. And this is what Einstein was studying. He was so interested in this. This energy field has a geometric shape of a star tetrahedron. And this is a word that came up to be sporadically back in December. And I feel like this word holds a lot of meaning. Tetrahedron, which consists of two equally sized interlocking fields of tetrahedra, which are pyramids. Think of the Egyptian pyramids, with a common center, like the Great Sphinx. Through the counter-spinning of these fields, while breathing in certain patterns, it is believed that we can change or move our perception of reality into other dimensions. Almost like telekinesis, which is a powerful spiritual gift, just like telepathy, but telekinesis is almost like being able to move things with your mind, right? But then also astral traveling. These are the kind of gifts that are being almost happening subconsciously, you want to say, because we all astral travel during dream. So I feel like these are our body's way or our soul's way of traveling to different times and dimensions and then coming back with these answers, right? So the upward tetrahedron of this activation refers to the masculine aspect and its fiery colors indicating power, presence, and direction, which is what we're all receiving as well with this new one in Pisces. Is more power, the guidance to which direction to go on, and being able to show up for the mission, our presence, our light presence. The light coming out of its corners refers to the capacity to direct energy and presence. The downward tetrahedron refers to the feminine aspect, which is more the moon aspect, right? Whereas the masculine is more the sun aspect. So the moon feminine aspect is like the deep, dark, and mysterious within ourselves, our subconscious. These desires within that are coming up, with spirals that indicate the flowing nature of the feminine. When these two opposing forces come together in perfect union, think like two spirals of the DNA, the same DNA, the Merkaba activates its full potential. And this is how we're able to activate the mission to its fullest potential. It's when these spiritual partners come together, divine union is achieved, right? Because this is the only way that these two light DNAs coming together is only going to be that much more powerful, right? Think of like, if you are using a battery, how much more stronger is double battery, right? Or like electricity. If you have like one light, how much more powerful is to have two powerful lights? That's much powerful, right? So that's what's being activated. So this process is outwardly expressed through our search and manifestation of a love relationship with another, and inwardly through the equally powerful love relationship with ourselves. Both holds the potential of supporting our eternal and infinite capacity to create a reality according to our consciousness. The arrowhead pattern refers to our ancient past as well as our alien and off-planet connection to other realities. The water in the background indicates the emotional realm. Pisces is a water energy as well. The guidance system that helps us to navigate through the world of energies in relation to our physical bodies. So let your soul guide you during these times, not your body, not your ego. The green and turquoise indicate our heart-based truth, and the surrounding square represents the physical world in which our reality is based. So let us try this little healing exercise. Close your eyes and move your awareness away from your body, your physical body. Can you feel the space around it? Try to detach your body from your soul right now. So now forget about your body. Forget that you even have one. Think of no body, no thing, no place, and no time. Just go within. Open your focus and allow your conscious mind to get out of the way. This is your waking mind, your ego mind that keeps talking to you. Let this fear go. Linger in this place often and see how this changes your perception in your daily life. How you're able to see from a higher perspective when you start to see through your spiritual eye, because everything else is shut off. Your physical senses are shut off, and the only thing left is your spiritual eye, your intuitive sense. And this is what's going to give you the right answers. Now, I do want to bring in Angels of Atlantis today. Now, this is a card that I don't use too much, but this is a powerful deck for me. I actually use this more for like personal reasons, but this is definitely one that wants to speak to us all collectively. From the angelic kingdoms, we're going to get a message today for this new moon in Pisces. Look how beautifully cosmic this looks, because I feel like there is a lot of cosmic transformation, transcendence, and transmutation happening at these times. So just go with the flow, do everything slow and steady. Remember the artist, right? Like I was just saying, or even the carpenter, like was Jesus. In order to make something perfect, everything needs to be done with intention, at a slow pace, with carefulness, right? With grace, and even with love. And this is how we're to do all things from now on, if this is not you already. Especially when it comes to our mission. Everything mission related needs to be done with care. And that's how we're able to manifest beautiful things into reality. You know, this has been like a new habit of mine for quite some time already, and I've noticed a significant difference. When I was just starting out with my business, I was like just naturally more anxious because I wanted to get these ideas in my head manifested right away. And I've learned the power of patience, temperance, that it will get manifested in its timing that is meant to happen. So just do it with grace, because you are to enjoy the process. That's important, right? We don't want to just rush through the process and get kind of to like the destination, the finish line, the finished product, without having really enjoyed the journey. And that's a key message for this new moon in Pisces, because whatever it is that we're beginning to take up the next level this time around, whatever we've been working on, even since like December, September, even the whole last year, and even 2020, all of these projects that have been cultivated have been developed and are still developing, now is the mastery period. This end of the year, March all the way on to like November, even December. I feel like December is the celebration. I want to say March to November. This is like the final mastery of it all. And when we're going to be able to finally graduate out of whatever it is that you're in right now, whatever phase of your life. Trust me that come next year, everything is going to be so different that you didn't even have no idea, because that's the power of not having expectations, right? We allow God and give him the freedom to bless us out of this world. And that's what we are coming to. All right, so we have, wow, I've never gotten these cards. Raziel is coming to us twice, and I feel like these two cards more than anything are the cards for today. Archangel Raziel. And he's coming in with the power of intuition and the power of faith. This is what's going to get us by this year, to be able to reach the top. And just have compassion with yourself along the way is a key message, right? This is exactly what I was thinking last night. You see, these are these dreams that are being activated, and we are to go towards these dreams as well. We have 3 powerful Raziel cards and then 2 powerful Sakiel. Sakiel comes with the power of divine ecstasy. This is like the next step after this divine intervention that's happened, all of us in our life. We've all been intervened by these higher beings. Call them aliens if you want, angels, but they've been intervening in our life, specifically this past weekend, and this week. And it's so that we may have compassion with ourselves, so a lot of self-love coming in, but also embarking us on this more action-oriented phase of our life, where we're needing to surrender. You see this ecstasy here, it's almost like the spiritual ecstasy. And this is what the enlightenment phase almost feels like. We're going to read into these. Let's look into Sakiel's first. Compassion and ecstasy. And yeah, transmutation and patience coming in. Archangel Michael. The cosmic leader. Why don't we just read a little bit about transmutation? The oracle wisdom of Michael reminds you of the great master alchemist, the god Thoth. This priest wizard has been seen through the millennia working intimately with the magic of Archangel Michael. And this is what we're all alchemizing in our life. This is what we're mastering. Being able to alchemize the life of our dreams, gold. Being able to make nothing into gold, right? Therefore, drawing this card means that you are moving through a rapid period of spiritual growth. We are definitely being accelerated at like 10,000 times speed. And we are reminded of the need to employ the art of alchemy. Turning the negatives that come from your shadow into positivity. Turning base metal into gold. And then ultimately ascending into heaven for the supernatural treasure, which is love. So sound Ha through your heart for love. Let us chant Ha for now. Archangel Michael suggests that we have been rushing to create, to make, manifest, and this never creates something that beautiful and perfect, right? So work to allow, dear one, and then you will truly see patience as an active force in the time distance between visualization and manifestation. Meditate on stillness so that you may consider your desire without attachment. Contemplate the splendor of the 3 great pyramids at Giza that took a large number of years to build, yet no one ever doubted that eventually they would stand. Indeed, they have stood for the last 4,500 years. Remember that 3 is the number behind all manifestation, and also body, mind, spirit. The alignment, right? This is the principal virtue of Michael's teaching. So ponder on this in stillness and silence. Safkiel is the sacred lover. So I feel like these two messages are for when it comes to these spiritual love unions. Having more compassion on your beloved, on yourself, and it will lead you to this divine ecstasy. So compassion, Safkiel is aware of the deep level of compassion that radiates from your heart at this time. The oracle of compassion is one of the highest vibrational frequencies and influences in the 44 card representations, and is only chosen when there is a notion currently formulated within the individual who beseeches something from this oracle. Is this because you sense the depth of compassion exuding from yourself at this time as you elevate the suffering of others? And this is what Jesus did. He has so much compassion that it literally elevated, took off the suffering from others' back. Or are you in need of developing this soulful quality in relation to self or others? Maybe this is something that you need to develop. So wherever you may be, whatever the myriad situations of your life may be revealing, know that the angel of sacred love is supporting you and drawing the cosmic ray of unconditional love and compassion through you. This is a high calling and only occurs when the individual is duly ready for the accruing of blessings or for feeling compassion as a blessed virtue. So look at the lives of the holy ones. For example, what does His Holiness the Dalai Lama teach you through his compassion? So let us chant Om Mani Padme Hum while identifying compassion in your heart as it radiates throughout the world. So let us chant this. Om Mani Padme Hum. And then finally, ecstasy. Safkiel wishes you to know that divine ecstasy may come in any moment as a deep feeling of passion for your spiritual growth, or as an aspect of your love, whereby your whole being is transfixed with the choice that you have made to join the mystical pathway. The two gatekeepers on this path are awe and joy, both of which are closely aligned to ecstasy. And as you experience this heightened state, be aware of the whispers of the angels. As you see in this oracle, angels use this high frequency opportunity to impart sacred loving information to us about our journey. They give our higher self information about a choice that we need to make, or how to open vistas of consciousness about our ethical existence. So trust the angels, for they will always have your heartfelt interest in their hearts. Chant Ha in the heart chakra to open this channel of light-filled inspiration from the angelic realms. We chanted Ha before, but let us just chant a few more. Let us read Zadkiel's messages for us. Raziel's messages for us. The divine mysteries. We begin with dreams. Your dreams are one of the most powerful oracles that you access. And Raziel illustrates those messages that are filtering through your dream kingdom at present, which will help you with your next important life decision. These are major life decisions that we're needing to make, because this is it. This is the point where you're going either A or B. There's no more going back, so the decision that you make today is for the long term. So So don't worry if you cannot remember your dreams, which give you messages, maybe guidance, as your unconscious has them in store for your higher self or Ka to interpret. So even though you don't remember your dreams, like I don't remember them quite well from the past 2 nights, but subconsciously they direct my decisions. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that angels are always helping us in the ether realms, in the ethereal realms. So try to keep a dream journal to develop the ability to read the metaphors of this part of your consciousness. Sit in stillness to assist the interpretation of your consciousness. And now we have the message of faith. Faith wishes to be present at this time of your life, and Raziel similarly desires to help you. Make a sacred call to this archangel as you make your leap of faith, when courage is needed to flee from all that is familiar. And as you embark on your new adventure, the subtle vapors of the universal mysteries will support you. Ask yourself, what is it that needs releasing from my life? And this is exactly what I said yesterday in one of my posts. We're definitely needing to release something in my podcast so that we may embark on the new. You see, this man is taking a leap of faith. And literally, those open arms symbolize to me free will. Being free, and almost like free and single, right? To choose a new path. Go on the right mind. Go on the right mountain with the right mindset, which is God's mountain. It's a new journey. So if you hang on to a thought, feeling your situation that needs releasing, it will only worsen. So let go and let God in. Chant the sacred symbol Om to bring in the divine. This is something that you should be chanting every morning. I always chant this every morning during my meditation practice, and that is Om. Let us just chant one Om to receive this. Where we dig deep as well in making these dreams come true when life gets difficult, when it feels like a struggle, because it will. Nothing is easy, nothing great is easy, right? And then finally, we have the message of intuition, which is also the healing of our chakras. Meditation will bring answers, and that's our third eye, connecting to cosmic wisdom. The oracle wishes you to turn inwards to your intuition, which is why it's called intuition, right? To the natural laws of your soul. These souls, I'm seeing it like sacred activations here, like sacred geometry. That's our true soul. And there are theories about our soul being able to be read in a geometric fashion. Everyone has a unique soul, a unique sacred geometry. And this is what's being activated by these higher beings. These are these light activation codes that are being sent into our DNA, deep at our cells. So this is deep, deep healing, transformation, and recalibration. So this will guide you through the pulsations of eternal love. Trust this inner wisdom, O dear one, as it is the abundance of your spirit that speaks to you. Listen carefully to these inner murmurings, for when we are called to a teaching, a guide, a vision, a book, a piece of music, or a natural landscape, it means that there's something powerful that will be communicated to us. Raziel is at one with your profound inner intelligence and wants you to be awake to these whisperings. God is whispering to us. Our angels are whispering. So just sit in silence for this oracular proof of Raziel's love. So a great thing that we're doing today is retreating to get these answers. And you know, make these new and full moons a whole day ritual for you. That's how I treat my spirituality retreat days now. I make it like into this all like purification ritual day, including like spas, more meditation that day, more yoga. I will actually be doing yoga as soon as I finish today's event, because that's what's going to also help us to absorb all of these healing and be able to also even deeper interpret these messages that we have received today. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to bring in your Heart Knows the Way Oracle deck. I really love this deck. And I want to give us messages for us divine feminines, but also for the feminine within the masculines out there. Because this is what's needed for you to have compassion for your divine feminine counterpart, right? You're needing to have a healthy balance between your inner masculine and inner feminine, and making sure that it's divine, not distorted, right? We all want to be on our ultimate divinity during these times. And it's when it's going to attract the deepest, strongest spiritual bond. Wow, expect the best. So I know that we said we don't expect anything, but if you're to expect anything, it's just the best. And know that God will reveal how this best will look like. So this is definitely a message for us. Yeah, this is definitely, I feel like it's related to love almost, but it can also be related to our dreams. Expect the best when you take that leap of faith, when you surrender. This is almost looking like the trust test as well, right? We have a partner behind you and you trust that they'll catch you. You are just unafraid to fall back because you know that they will catch you. And I feel like there is a sense of loneliness almost because there's an absence of love. And the absence of love is what is fear. And this is what's being changed. It's the number 5 card. And it's the number 4, right? It's the next step. Because this is an unstable reality here. It might have been stable, but it was like a negative stable, right? It's almost like when you're living a mundane life and it looks like it's stable, but in reality, it's creating emotional instability. And so we're being asked to change because any absence of love that you've created for yourself is related to fear, and this is what's needed to be released. Fear is a luxury, which that's a surprise, right? But also love is a luxury, and it's the next number, number 6. This is the harmony that we're all reaching. And this looks like a bathed woman here, completely almost nude as well, which is almost like this purification ritual at its best. This is what's happening, you see. She's all clothed here, and then here she's like about almost like to get in the bath, but she's like all in fear. She's needing to cleanse herself, her aura, and then she comes out of this side so healed, so relaxed in her essence as a beautiful divine feminine. And I do want to read this number 6 card because fear is a luxury is a little bit of a surprise today. Why is fear a luxury? So let us read it from the oracle. And maybe we do need to look at the bottom. Allow yourself to shine. Blossom. So fear is a luxury. Oh, fear is a luxury you cannot afford. Because it just costs too much. It costs our life when we're stuck in fear. I really like that because there's no more time to waste. Are you consumed by your fears? Is the uncertainty of life keeping you up at night? These are these challenges that we're all dealing with. Maybe these are coming up in your dreams and they're coming up as nightmares as well. And this is what's needing to be transmuted. This card reminds you that fear is your choice. It challenges your helplessness and asks you to consider the possibility that you indulge in fear because you can't afford to do so. If these statements are met with resistance or defense within you, imagine this. What would you do if you were stranded in a desert with no food and no shelter? Would you be paralyzed by fear and inaction? Would you sit in the blazing sun and resolve to die? Or would you move yourself into action, fueled by your instinct to survive? Fear is a luxury for which you pay with your time, with your well-being, with your joy. You dwell on that which scares you because you can afford to do so. And you cast it aside when you no longer afford to indulge in it. When you don't have to be stranded in the desert to cast aside your fear. So today, stop arguing in defense of your fears and say to yourself, I am done paying for my fears with my precious life. And begin the process of moving out of darkness and into the light. And that's how we're going to end today's spiritual talk. It's about definitely stepping into the light during these times. Nothing is stopping you. Thank you all for joining me, and just momentarily, we will get started with our Sambo healing session. Namaste. family. Welcome to today's sound pole healing session for this new moon in Pisces in March of 2022. My name is Christie Ramirez and I am your health and wellness expert. So today we are here gathered for some healing, some spiritual maintenance of our aura. So let us begin with a little bit of some healing light. Close your eyes and just receive this. Deep inhale and then exhale all impurity. Inhale white and golden light and exhale all impurities. Let's keep doing this for a couple minutes. Imagine this white and gold light coming at you like a fresh breeze of air, a fresh breeze of wind. And this wind is of God. This wind is healing. And this is what's going to shield us against anything out there in the world that might not be of light. We are all protected. All of us who are in the light are in this beautiful gold bubble, under God's beautiful wings, under our angels' wings, and nothing can touch us. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And this is a reminder to let go of any fear that you might have in regards to this theme. Being out in the world as a light worker, knowing that you are a warrior, a strong warrior. And we are all meant to step out into the world to show that we are a warrior. And warriors don't just sit back in their cave. They need to actually go out and fight the war, right? And we're being asked to fight for God, this spiritual war. Whatever it is that's going on, we might not exactly know what we're fighting against, but we can fight blindly and know that God is going to take care of us. And at the end of the day, we'll be back home safe, in our bed, in our sacred temple. And we did what God asked us to do. God is asking us to just blindly follow His instructions. We might still be in the dark about some things, but slowly it will all be revealed in the right timing. And maybe even after the fact, because if you would have known prior, you might not have even done it. So this is just knowing that sometimes ignorance is bliss, and God is protecting us even from knowing things that might not be good for us to know in the moment. And this is a beautiful way to begin today's Sangha healing session. So I'm actually going to place this here. We're going to move our Sangha here, and we're just going to be grateful for this beautiful sound frequency today. I'm so grateful for all of you who are here present. And let us call in our angels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Sandalphon, Zadkiel, and Raskiel. So all the ones that we touched up on, plus a few others. And also Saint Germain, which is the one that overlooks spiritual lovers. And he is all about the violet ray, which is a violet ray of healing. May all of our chakras align today. Let us set this intention. May our throat chakra be cleansed and purified so that we may only speak sacred words of God. Our intuition be cleared. Our crown chakra be receptive, our heart chakra open, and our higher chakra activated so that we may be of service to humanity during these difficult times in the world. Because even though it's difficult, this is when the world needs us the most. So if you're tired and you're being asked to show up, do show up. Because not only will it be rewarded, but this is where your mission is being tested the most. We all want to have purpose and meaning for life, and this is the time where it's going to have the most meaning. So definitely do show up to whatever it is that you're being called towards. So let us begin. at right now in your life is as it should be. Everything happens for a divine reason. Through this divine intervention, God will bring in divine blessings. This is a moment to fall in love with our lives again. And we're going to be able to do this through this art, through creativity, to being inspired. Inspiration is what keeps us all alive as a species, and is also what continues to keep us evolving. Creativity has much power. Art is the most powerful force that God ever blessed us with. Helps us to think outside the box and even helps us to connect to God. God speaks through us through art language. That is the universal language of God's voice and our soul. Angels and higher beings that are watching over us, both from upstairs and from actually within this matrix that we're in. You might have encountered this with people who might have been acting weird, strangers, but know that everything has a message. Every single moment, every experience, every person that crossed your path, it was a divine reason for it, whether it was a message that you needed for that moment or even for your future. Almost like a prophecy in a way, revealed to you through these people, experiences, situations. And these prophecies are what's being now unraveled and finally revealed for what it is. So these prophecies are finally coming to pass. There's a lot of prophecies that most, or some should I say, light workers have been receiving. And these prophecies are being revealed as if by a movie, but almost also in a different way that we expected. Because nothing is ever as we predict in a way, even though we might be prophets or visionaries or psychics, we can have an idea of what this prophecy is, what our future is going to hold. But at the end of the day, we do not have the picture perfect image of how the event is going to unfold. Only God knows that. So we're all being surprised and shocked in many different ways, in many different angles. And that's okay, because we are submissive to God, not above God, right? So we let Him show us through these little events here and there how it all is going to be. But at the end of the day, still, we can't live in the future, in the then. We need to live in the now. So God is asking us to just enjoy every moment, because you will eventually enjoy all the moments that you're meant to enjoy. You will eventually get to this future that God has been prophesizing to you. And it will come in its most miraculous manner, at the most perfect time. And we don't know what that perfect time is yet. None of us know. For whatever it is that you're seeking guidance for right now, all of it is under wraps almost. It's still in wrapping. Surrender to your future. Surrender to your happiness. Surrender to love. Love is the greatest gift that God can bless us with. And if you've encountered this love, treasure it. about leadership. It's about fearlessness. It's about bravery. And in order to be a strong knight in the army, we need to have these qualities. If not, we're going to be starved over, right? So God is enforcing us and definitely strengthening us from within, so that everything that comes out physically is coming up with this powerful force, this light force from within. We have seen nothing yet. The best is literally yet to come. And we might be seeing the worst right now. But remember that things need to get worse before it gets better. And we're in the midst of this transition this whole year until next year that we reach the kingdom of heaven on earth. So be patient, my friends, my soul family. Have temperance, because this is coming. This new beginning, our dreams are coming. But we need to just do the work, one day at a time. Carve our legacy daily. Discipline. Show up. Do the work. Be of service. And stay in this light. And don't forget to have fun in the process as well. This is why we stay lighthearted. And when we're able to be in a more high vibrational state, because we are light enough to receive more. So definitely don't feel heavy or energetically bogged down by any of this transition and even ascension that we're all going through, or at least some of us light workers. Instead, use it as a powerful driving force to keep rising, and let it energize you naturally. You don't need to seek energy from without, only from within. It's our reason for living. It's our reason for being. It's our reason for loving. And that's where we're going to end today's Summer Healing session. Thank you all for joining me in this beautiful manifestation period that we're at right now. And let us all leave with a lot of sacred vibe to stay high, to stay joyful, and to stay in love. Thank you again, and namaste.